Is the Philadelphia front office secretly planning to blow up the entire roster right before the biggest weekend of the year? We are looking at a potential betrayal of the fans, a massive trade deadline disaster waiting to happen, and a quarterback situation that has the entire league buzzing for all the wrong reasons. The draft is here. The stakes have never been higher. And if you think you know what is coming, you are dead wrong. Before we dive in, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest NFL updates on the planet. The rumors are swirling, and the chaos is officially upon us. We have all been waiting for draft
Smith. It really dictates the defense.
And for the Philadelphia faithful, it feels like the team is walking a tightrope with a pair of scissors. We are getting massive updates on the front office's secret agenda. And let me tell you, it is not just about drafting college kids anymore. It is about a high-stakes chess match involving veterans, trade blocks, and a total shift in philosophy. But hold that thought for a second, because the real shocker is who is actually missing from the building today. First, let's talk about the elephant in the room. The reports coming out of the front office are absolutely insane. Everyone has been talking about who the team might pick in the first round, but the reality is much scarier. We are hearing legitimate noise that the front office is not content with just adding young talent. No, they are looking for a deal. They're looking to make a splash that could reshape the defense overnight. There's a massive spotlight on the pass rush. We all know the defense was shaky last year, and the front office knows it too. They're desperate for a guy who can get to the quarterback, and they're not waiting for a rookie to develop. They want a proven veteran, and the name being tossed around like a hot potato, Jonathan Greenard. Now look, I know what you're thinking. We have talked about Greenard before, but this time is different because the reports are confirming that the front office is actively plotting to make this happen. They have been checking in on him, they have been running the numbers, and they are looking for a trade partner. And why wouldn't they? The guy is an absolute beast. He had a double-digit sack season, and even in a year where he played limited games, his win rate was off the charts. He is a bendy, explosive edge rusher who could turn our defensive weakness into an absolute nightmare for opposing quarterbacks. But here's the question for you. If the front office has to give up a premium draft pick to get a guy like Greenard, is it worth sacrificing the future for a win-now veteran? Or should we be patient and draft a rookie? Drop a name below and let me know if you think we should trade for an established star or trust the draft board. Now, while you're down there typing your answer, let's look at the other side of this. Because while the pass rush is the sexy news, the betrayal news is what everyone is actually whispering about in the hallways. We have to talk about the A.J. Brown situation. I know. You're sick of hearing it. I'm sick of talking about it. But the reports are not going away. In fact, they're getting louder. We are hearing from the biggest names in the business that even if the team keeps him through the draft, the plan remains the same. A trade after June 1st. I know it sounds like a disaster. I know you want to believe that he is a part of the long-term future. But we need to be realistic about how this front office operates. They are cold, they are calculated, and they're always thinking 3 steps ahead. They are not concerned with sentimentality. They're concerned with the salary cap and the long-term trajectory of the franchise. And the reality, as hard as it is to swallow, is that they are preparing for a life without him. But wait until you hear what the experts are saying about who might replace that production. It is not just about finding one guy to fill his shoes. It is about creating a committee. A mix of new faces, speed, and reliability. We are seeing reports that the team is perfectly comfortable moving forward with a group approach. They're looking at receivers like Devonta Smith to take that next massive leap, and they're bringing in guys to compete for those secondary and tertiary roles. The narrative that the offense will crumble is likely wrong. This front office has a history of identifying talent in the draft that flies under the radar. They might not be looking for the next superstar wide receiver in the first round. They might be looking for a guy on day 2 who fits the system perfectly. Speaking of the system, we have to address the drama that happened over the weekend. Jalen Hurts, the face of the franchise. He is back to work, but the social media reaction to his workout photos was nothing short of a circus. Everyone saw the pictures of him training with a former coach who was essentially fired by the team after a disappointing season. The internet went into a complete meltdown, claiming that this was a sign of disrespect, a power play, or a sign of internal discord. But let's take a breath and be logical for a second. Is it really that deep? Or is this just a guy trying to get better? People forget that these players have personal relationships. Just because the front office cuts ties with a coach doesn't mean the player has to erase that coach from his phone. If Hurts feels that this specific coach helps him refine his mechanics, helps him with his footwork, or helps him get back to his 2022 to 2024 form, then he is going to work with him. Period. The idea that this is some sort of rebellion is ridiculous. It is actually a good sign. It shows that the quarterback is dedicated to his craft, regardless of the office politics. And honestly, if that is the kind of dedication he is showing, we should be happy about it. The last thing we want is a quarterback who just punches the clock. We want a guy who is obsessed with being the best. If that requires working with a fired coach, so be it. Now, we have to shift gears to something that almost everyone missed over the weekend. It is the under-the-radar news that usually ends up being the biggest story of the year. Reports came out that the front office has been meeting extensively with a specific quarterback prospect, Cole Payton. I can hear the comments already. Are they replacing Hurts? Is the sky falling? No, and stop it. That is not what this is. This is about the QB factory philosophy. This team has been brilliant at drafting quarterbacks late in the draft, developing them, and then either keeping them as reliable backups or trading them for assets. It is a brilliant strategy. It keeps the room cheap, it keeps the room competitive, and it provides insurance in case of injury. So why Payton? Because he is a physical specimen. He is a lefty with a cannon for an arm. He is a dual-threat guy who fits the modern NFL mold. He is not a day-one starter. He is a developmental project. If the team spends a fourth-round pick on a guy like that, it is not a knock on the starter. It is an investment in the future. It is about having a guy in the building who can run the scout team, learn the system, and potentially become a valuable asset down the road. It is just good business. And if there is one thing we know about this front office, it is that they are masters of business. Let's talk about the draft strategy as a whole, because this is where the curiosity gap really widens. Everyone thinks they know what the first round is going to look like. Everyone has their mock draft perfect scenario. But here is the secret. The draft never goes according to plan. The front office is known for trading back. They are known for stockpiling picks. They are known for finding value in the weirdest places. If they don't get the guy they want at their spot, they won't force it. They will move. They will gather more capital. And that brings us back to the earlier point about the trade market. If they can move back, acquire an extra pick for 2027 or 2028, and still get a solid pass rusher or a receiver, they will do it in a heartbeat. They are thinking about the long game. They are not trying to win just this coming season. They're trying to keep the Super Bowl window open for 5, 6, 7 years. That is why they make these moves that confuse the media and the fans in the moment. It is because they are playing at a level that most people just don't understand yet. And this brings me to a very important point about the nature of this sport. We get so attached to the players, so attached to the names on the back of the jerseys, that we forget this is a brutal, cold, professional business. When you see a report about a potential trade, don't immediately get angry. Try to look at the math. Try to look at the cap space. Try to look at the age curve of the player. When you do that, the decisions the front office makes start to look a lot less like betrayals and a lot more like smart, necessary moves to keep the ship afloat. Does it sting? Absolutely. Is it fun to watch a star leave? Never. But if you want a winning team, you have to accept that sometimes you have to make the hard choice today to be better tomorrow. So, where does that leave us for this week? We are heading into the unknown. The draft is going to be chaotic. There will be surprises. There will be guys picked that you have never heard of, and there will be trades that make you scratch your head. But that is the beauty of it. That is why we are obsessed with this league. I want to make sure you are prepared for it. Don't believe everything you see on Twitter. There are a lot of insiders who are just throwing darts at a board hoping to hit a headline. Stick to the facts. Look for the patterns. And most importantly, enjoy the ride. We're going to see a lot of activity on the defensive side of the ball. The need for a pass rusher is glaring. The need for depth is real. The front office knows this. They are not blind to the stats. They are not ignoring the weaknesses. They are actively hunting for solutions. And if those solutions involve a trade, then a trade is what we are going to get. And let's talk about the receiver room one more time, because I know it is a major point of contention. The concern about the lack of depth is valid, but the potential is also sky high. If the team can land a diamond in the rough in the mid-rounds, this offense could become even more dynamic than it was last year. We are looking at a system that is evolving. It is becoming faster, more versatile, and harder to predict. That is a good thing. That is what wins championships in the modern era. So, as we gear up for the draft, keep an open mind. Don't be the fan who is screaming at the TV because they picked a guy you didn't see on a mock draft 3 months ago. Trust the process that has put this team in a position to compete every single year. And remember, the news doesn't stop when the draft ends. The offseason is a marathon, not a sprint. We're going to have OTAs, we're going to have training camp, and we're going to have plenty of drama along the way. That is why you need to stay locked in. That is why you need to be part of the community here. We're going to break down every single pick, every single trade, and every single move the front office makes. We're going to cut through the noise and give you the real story. No fluff, no nonsense, just straight analysis. If you have enjoyed this breakdown, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next update. The draft is coming, and it is going to be the most important weekend of the year. You do not want to be out of the loop when the big moves go down. Who is going to be the biggest steal of the draft? Who is going to be the biggest bust? And is the front office actually going to pull off that blockbuster trade for a veteran pass rusher? Let me know your predictions in the comments below. I read every single one of them, and I want to hear your take on what is about to go down. We are entering a new era. The roster is changing, the expectations are shifting, but the goal remains exactly the same.
By Devontae Smith.
It is a long road.
It really dictates the defense.
It starts with the decisions made in that draft room. It starts with the vision the front office has for this team. And it starts with us, the fans, who are along for the ride through the highs and the lows. So buckle up. It is going to be a wild week. Stay tuned, stay active, and let's get ready for the most exciting time of the football calendar. The draft is just around the corner, and I will be here every step of the way to break it all down for you. Thanks for being here, and let's go get it.